Look inside that circle. Look at that scar. I got that when I was in fourth grade. Teacher, Mrs. M, let's call her, used to flirt with assistant principal. I think I did something to piss her off. And that same day, I guess she decided I was being unruly and wanted to punish me. Back then, they used to use a switch or a ruler and maybe hit the palm of your hand. But she decided that this is what she wanted to do, hit me on this side. Uh, by that evening, that thing tore up and I could no longer hide it from my parents. My dad visited the principal the following day, and I don't want to even say what happened. Um, that day, I learned on a gut level that a bad teacher is a curse and a good teacher is a many layers of blessing. In fifth grade, teacher was decent. She had a family member in the class and the same last name, and that favoritism just disgusted me. So right there at 11 years of age, I wanted to be a great teacher because I just thought that no human being, no student, no child should have to deal with a bad teacher. That summer that I was 11 years old, I put together a week, 2 weeks of my allowance, plus I used to work in our little shop. I went and bought a dictionary. Back then, they didn't teach a second language till you were in like seventh or eighth grade in junior high. And I just wanted to learn a second language. At the time, I guess partly because I'd heard people talk about higher education overseas. And for the longest time, it used to be France, England, prior to that, Germany. But America was then pretty popular in United States as far as people going to get higher education. American TV shows were just being shown, and the TVs were just coming inside every house. So we had a TV. I don't know when we got it. I remember, but I don't know if we were 6, 7 years old, whatever. But we had a TV, and part of it could have been that reason, but most likely from what I'd heard from people that I just wanted to study abroad, get a PhD, and go back to Iran to teach. So I thought, if I'm going to the United States, I'm going to have to learn English. Bought that dictionary, learned the alphabet somewhat, learned a few words, but unfortunately had to wait till seventh or eighth grade, where they would teach you an hour and a half of English every week, some lame program, and nothing was available on TV. You did not have internet, nothing like that. I always think that if I had something like the internet, probably I would have mastered the English language by the time I was 12. Not probably, for sure, just because of my enthusiasm and the fact that I just wanted to learn it so bad. But luckily, when I told my parents that I'd like to study at an ESL program after school, like an hour and a half every other day during the week, or a class where it would be like 2 or 3 times a week, 1 hour to 1 hour and a half. And they helped me, they paid for it, and starting 8th grade, I went to what they call the Mead Academy meet named after the old Persian kingdom, and it was called Maud Academy. And that's where I started. I'm just positive that if the tools that are around right now were around back then, I would have been fluent in at least one other language other than English. I knew some Turkish because my parents were Iranian Turks from Hamadan area, so they spoke Turkish. So we picked it up just by hearing them. And a lot of the employees in our factory, laborers, they were Turkish speaking from the same villages that around where my parents had grown up. But if we had something close to what